In recent posts, we've been focusing on the Layer Properties Manager, and I'd like to run through a few more of its features. If we start on the left and look at the whole window, we can click All, and if we look down the bottom, there are 26 layers in this design or in this drawing, a total of 26. But if we go to All Use Layers, there are also the same 26. If I use this small button here and make a new layer, notice it just becomes layer 1. We've mentioned before that if we want to give that a meaningful name, you have to click in there. Let's just call it temp. So we've given it a meaningful name. We're just going to use it as a temporary feature. If I click back here, the current, that tick indicates a current layer. Notice that it doesn't show here and there are no objects on it. If we come back here to all layers, the layer temp is exactly the same. But if we switch back to all and then notice temp, I'll just move this down, temp, the layer is there. And I come back here to all use layers, the layers disappeared. So it now only features in the list of all layers. If we come back here and make temp current and then close, and we'll draw a circle out here to the left and then save and go back here. Now let's click all use layers, 27 layers we have now. Get into the habit of making layer 0 the current layer, and we go to all. Layer temp shows, it says one entity on it, that's the circle. So if we come back to layer temp, let's just use one of the tools and we'll isolate layer temp and should see nothing other than the circle. So we could eliminate it now and come back to our layer manage editor and say we want all layers on. Everything comes back. But if we go to the layers manager tool and say all, notice that layer temp is grayed out. It's somewhat pedantic, but there can be times when you want to distinguish between is a layer real and does it have any entities on it. At this point, we could get rid of layer temp and OK it. The next time we load the drawing, that layer will be gone. Let's move on again across this. We go to all use layers, and so the all and all used is important. We've demonstrated making a new layer and even deleting one and making a layer current. But as you move across the screen, the light bulb just says, well, do I want the boundary? That's that red dashed line there. And notice that its color of that layer is set to red and has a center line pattern, and it has a thicker, and there are 4 entities on it. They're the actual boundaries. But you can, sometimes it's helpful, not in this case, you can actually give this some sort of, let's call it boundary surveyed. In other words, not served. So it's been surveyed and it has a name. I think that's, whoops, and see I didn't click in. So let's demonstrate with Windows. You might want to say a Windows is an architectural feature and hit enter, it'll go in the boundary. This would be a useful one to have a notation. Def points is a layer, it's a non-printing. And for example, I might have some design notes down here. If I select them, they're on a layer called def points now, and whenever I print to a proper PDF writer, they will not print anything on that in that little mtext box. Is not going to print. And I'm sure you can think of other opportunities to put things on a non-printing layer. Here's the result of printing using Qt PDF Writer, and no sign of any of those notes that were down in this area. I hasten to add that if you use our quick and easy method of, let me just minimize that, go back here. If you use File and Save as a PDF, it's a quick tool, gives a very good result very often, but these will print. So just be aware of that. So I hope we've made some progress with the layers box